Do you suck at Slay the Spire 2? Are you left wondering why that deck you created with so much love and care and passion fell apart at that fight you were convinced was an elite fight? Yep, me too. But I got to speak to a top tier Slay the Spire player and ask the kind of dumb questions that maybe you'd want to ask. Brad is a top tier player, having completed a multitude of bonkers hard challenges at the highest ascension levels of both Slay the Spire 1 and now Slay the Spire 2. Not only that, but he's genuinely one of the most down-to-earth streamers with an incredibly friendly and welcoming community. So much so that he took the time to jump on my stream and have a chat with me about my Ascension 6 Regent win. So, if listening to two posh Englishmen analyse very average gameplay sounds like your cup of tea, then pull up a pew and stick the kettle on because
it's time. Time to teach.
It's teaching time.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going very well, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not bad. I'm high off my last Regent win.
You definitely deserve to be high after you got away with absolute murder, my friend.
What are you talking about?
You got away with absolute murder.
What are you talking about? That was pure skills from start to finish.
Sure. Yeah. No, it was good. Okay, so the biggest piece of advice that I have for you is we have to find a way to bridge when you don't know what to do. Your immediate reactions is
panic.
You panic. You panic.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So because you do have some good lines of logic and good lines of thinking, but because obviously you haven't learnt the enemy movesets completely, that also contributes towards you being overwhelmed.
Yeah.
The way to tackle this, to start with, is to try and think in simple terms. And you just want to think of the immediate, what's coming up immediately, and what your current hand can do. This will help because you're trying to predict what's coming up next, your next draw pile, the next things they're doing. You're trying to calculate the damage that the bosses are going to do, etc. And this is just overwhelming you, and then you are making small errors that as soon as you do them, you're like, oh, why did I do that? And I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah. It's like okay. I feel like I'm starting to play slower, but not slow enough.
When you think about playing slow, you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like so you basically you have a line of thought, but you don't think it out, and then you play it, and then you think after, and that's what happens an awful lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are a couple of things that I want to highlight here.
Okay.
The first of which is if we won't tackle the queen too much. The issue we have with the queen is at the very beginning, we were deciding the charge targets.
Okay.
Obviously, clumsy is always happening here.
Do you think so? Because let me explain my logic there.
Yeah, sure.
I'm treating charge as a way to thin my deck as well as attack, which is the point, right? I felt like clumsy is one bad draw, but it exhausts itself. I was like, we're gonna have one bad draw, but it's probably okay.
Yeah. So I remember you at the shop when you were considering a card removal, and you decided to remove a strike, or it was a defend or a strike over the clumsy, and I was calling out my screen quite a lot. So what you've done is you've misplaced the acceptance of clumsy because it's ethereal and it exhausts with the fact that it's not a card that you need to remove. The cards in your deck like defends, they have a lot of value over this card that overexhausts itself.
Okay.
The only, especially because you have a card charge that can exhaust your deck for you, so you don't need to worry about this about what you've got coming up, because you can exhaust that defend if you need to, and the strike if you need to. You've got a pen nib going, which strike can help contribute towards.
Sure.
And defense just keeps you alive as well.
It's the funny thing is as well is that like early on when I got that pen nib, I said to myself, I'm going to remember this time that I have pen nib and play towards it. Did not remember once.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Not a
One of my
single
favorite
time.
moments was when we were on the scrolls.
Yes.
And it was my favorite moment because you were just like, oh no, this is really bad.
Yeah.
And then
I
you
saw it.
yeah, and you saw it. It was like, oh,
But
yeah, great.
I didn't see the pen nib. I saw the wild damage. I was like, oh, what's going on here? Oh yeah, pen nib that I said I remember like 2 hours ago.
Okay, another question I want to ask you is: if we look at this deck now,
Yeah.
how do we now feel about the cards that we picked from the defect?
Signal boost was a waste. I think the other two were fine.
Yep, that's I guess a correct way of interpreting it. Hologram was a fantastic pick.
Yeah.
FTL was also fine. It was good. It helped our pen nib, and it was fine. It helps with draw.
Yep.
Signal boost, however, yeah, was a wrong decision.
Not too happy about Alchemize, to be honest. I feel like
there we go. Yeah. Another great catch. Now you had a very unfortunate situation because you had an incredible win condition that you missed. You missed something very crucial at the shop. It was actually before this shop. You had another opportunity at this. If you're looking at the shop now, what opportunity do you think you potentially missed?
What is Stardust? I can't see it.
So Stardust deals 5 damage or 7 damage X times, with X being the amount of stars.
So that's potentially.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
The reason why is because you also have Patter, which gains 2 vigor.
Oh my
and
god!
that can go kind of crazy with it, and then you include Pen Nib into this calculation and vulnerable, and things just go out of control.
Absolutely one shot the queen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
So that was a miss, but that's okay. Gamma Blast was also a potential consideration, though you had Shockwave, and we knew we were going against the queen, so it wasn't really super necessary.
Yeah, see, I was offered Gamma Blast in a earlier card reward as well, and I was like, felt like I had enough sources of weak and vulnerable that I didn't really want to. It felt like deck clog to me.
Yeah. And so when we're looking at these, like, a good way to remember this, like, what's good here is you should always a good piece of advice that I learned from was always ask yourself the simple questions and don't overanalyze too much. And what your simple questions are what's our win condition? So where's our damage coming from? Does the deck need something from here? And that's it. What's our win condition? Does the deck need something? And, you know...
you make it sound so easy, because I do ask myself that, but I don't come to the right conclusions yet. So, like, I'll say, what's my win condition? And I would have said to myself, thinning the deck down so I can get to my big damage cards quicker.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's exactly right. You were the silly thing is that you were saying the right things, but you were then taking actions that were completely against what you were saying.
It's just for the content, Brad. It's just for the content.
Yeah. Of course. Because you have incredibly good logic when it comes to these decisions. Now, another good example here is you looked at Bag of Marbles and you said, oh, this is really good. This could be really good for us. That was the first thing you said.
Yeah, then I reevaluated because I thought we have so much vulnerable in the deck.
Yes.
And chances are I'm going to draw it turn 1. Most of the time.
So your reevaluation was 100% correct. But the reason why your reevaluation was slightly incorrect.
Interesting.
The amount of vulnerable that you have in your deck was not why you should pick this. You shouldn't pick this because your deck requires time to set up. So your big damage comes from your minion, especially with that little circle thing you got, which doubled the damage of minion attacks, right?
Yeah.
But they take some time to get going, and you stack your pen nib up. So that one bag of marbles, that 174 gold, it kind of falls flat on turn 1.
Yeah.
That would be the reason. Your lantern was a solid pick because you immediately identified bag of prep. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then your entire line of thinking, I was very impressed by your royal stamp thought. Everything that you went through was the exact order that I did, excluding excluding the astral pulse, everything else was pretty much exactly what I was thinking as well. So
Did I say astral pulse?
You did it, yeah, and you were like, oh, sometimes I don't have enough stars to play astral pulse. So, and then you were like, oh
no. I remember now. What I said was, I've never had a moment so far where I've not had stars to play astral pulse, so I don't need to put it on this.
I see.
Which, to be fair, does highlight that I did think about it for a moment.
No, but
and then thought not to.
Yeah. So this was all great. Like honestly, this was high level thinking where you assessed. You caught on immediately to the two correct things at the beginning, which were shockwave and charge. And then you had.
Yes, sorry. No, go on. You go on. Go on.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
I was going to say, because I considered signal boost for a while, and like I felt like that would take it from being utterly useless to somewhat useful.
So there is a line where you could consider signal boost with I mean, what did you do it on the end? It was Genesis, right?
No, I did it on I can't remember what it's called. Child of Stars.
Child of Stars. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But both of those are okay. But you correctly evaluated that you also gained retain on it.
Yeah.
And so the correct choices with that were both hologram and charge. The reason why it wasn't shockwave is because turn 1, the minion is just not doing anything. It's doing like 19 or 16 damage or 19 damage. It isn't like worth losing the retain.
No, exactly. Yeah. I think once I clocked that it had the retain, I was like, I don't really want to put it on something that exhausts. Yeah. It's just a waste after you've played it.
Yeah. So I would agree here. One of the things that I want to, there are two other points that I really want to sort of highlight. Is consideration. We won't talk about this fight. We will.
What do you mean? That went really well.
So you got very, very lucky. This was where you were playing quite. This is where you're playing quite fast, and you were missing a lot of things because you got overwhelmed by the minions and everything that was going on. But where we could learn quite a lot is this fight.
Okay.
There was a lot.
I took a lot of hits here.
Yeah, the shockwave was.
I completely forgot that he had artifacts.
Yes, you were considering the strength potion, which was probably correct here. So we ended up spending and going down to 0 stars, or we were going down very, very low where we couldn't use things. Playing a falling star here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ended up playing it. Let me just.
You know what? I forgot I did this, but even as I played that, I thought, why have I done that?
Yeah. For what reason, right?
For 8 damage, Brad.
This would be great if you held your shockwave.
Yeah.
Because it would have cleared the artifact.
Yeah.
So that was a big misplay. And this is where This is where getting overwhelmed by what's coming up and what do I do? I might as well do it because why wouldn't I? It can
snowball.
It can snowball, exactly. And so what you can tend to do here is just think in simple terms, like, okay, do I need to do that 8 damage? Is that very worthwhile? And the answer would be probably not. This was, I think overall the decision was correct because you did visit a lot of
shops,
rest sites. Merchants. So I think this was okay.
That was a tough choice though.
Because the problem with Regolite is that it doesn't do anything.
Well, to be fair,
what does it do for us? For Shockwave, right?
No, for charge. It would give me 4 block every time, which is fine.
Oh wait. Oh yeah, because excuse me. This was 100% correct.
I didn't consider that until now. But
no, you were solid. Oh, this decision. Yeah. I want to talk about this. Okay.
Oh, God. I feel like I'm in trouble.
No, you're not in trouble at all. You're not in trouble at all. The explosive potion. The problem with the VOD review here is that you got very lucky with the specific moments that explosive potion came in to save your butt. That really came in to save your butt.
Yeah, but I knew that. I knew that was going to happen.
And then finally, the only last thing I kind of wanted to really highlight.
Okay, why the Vuln potion there though?
So vulnerable potion is usually a superior potion to explosive, especially in like Act 3, for example, because the enemies have a lot more health.
Usually, I would agree. I felt like in my deck it wasn't. Again, because I have so many sources of vulnerable. And once I got Shockwave in play, I'm like,
yeah, you could definitely make an argument. However, what having that vulnerable potion allows you to do is decide to not play Shockwave. The issue that you have with Shockwave is that you are kind of forced
to spend the energy.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I mean, the weak is really good, don't get me wrong. It's just for options. The 10 damage on like a Frog Knight, for example, or pretty much anything other other than the scrolls, usually has little value. And that's the only reason it would be a consideration. Regarding here, you're playing a lot of skills, so I was a little bit surprised that you didn't might make it so. That was good. The reason why as well I make it so is that you're playing a lot of skills and you have pen nib. So you can stack this very high, very fast.
I think I really undervalue that card because I've taken it before and it's done alright in my decks. So
also, like 7 stars, fantastic finisher. Not that you necessarily need to play it; it's very expensive. Cosmic, very good for your deck in particular to cycle. Be Gone is also really good at the moment. Because you're transforming a potential strike basically into a 0-cost strike that draws 1 and exhausts.
Sure.
So it's
I considered that when it popped up, to be fair. But I thought, nah.
I hate this fight. This fight is
yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? It feels like an elite every time it comes up.
It really does. Okay. So this is the big decision, right? Because a lot of things from this point forwards, one of the biggest things that we want to think about when we're going into a new act is we want to assess our deck and ask the question, do we need anything? How do we feel? Right?
Yeah.
Your win condition had a lot to do with star generation. You had Child of Stars for block. You had Black Hole for AoE with stars. You had 2 or 3 star generators. And Genesis, you just picked up Genesis as well, right? So you had this really nice star package.
Yep.
And then you had Astral Pulse to be, some big damage, but you were lacking a little bit of damage. We were going to have to pick up a couple of pieces, right? So
I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah. Either the bottom 2 are fine. You attach yourself to the defect like a cat does to a tree, Christmas tree bauble. You saw shiny, and you thought, "Oh,
I did.
It's gonna be fun." And that's the exact same reaction you had to Alchemize, right?
It's a game, Brad. It's supposed to be fun.
True. True. You're not wrong.
Well,
and imagine if you hit, right?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine if I got that energy and draw I wanted.
So when we're thinking about these 3 choices, the defect cards are just not reliable enough to pick.
Okay.
So if you're wanting the factual, like you want to know what's going on, the defect cards are just, you don't know what you're going to get, so it's quite unreliable. The only time that you would ever pick that is if you are like, you got through the first boss with 1 health or 2 health remaining, right? And you're like, I'm not going to get through this act, and you need a Hail Mary, and then you pray.
That's interesting. I think I've really overrated that ancient relic then, because when I've seen it before, I've been like, oh, sick, I can pick like whatever I want from this class. And like, especially if I see the defect, I'm always like, oh, cool. Because in my head, I'm like, there's so many draw and energy cards that the defect comes with that like I'm fairly, it's fairly likely that I'm going to hit on at least 1 or 2. But clearly that's bullshit because I didn't get any. I mean, I got hologram.
Yeah,
which was
nice. And FTL, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't terrible, but if you then ask yourself, hey, would it have been better to have a chance to basically the choice to reroll every single card reward for things that would aid my win conditions? Or
the funny thing is, I even said like just before picking Gear Glass, I was like, Driftwood's really good.
Yeah,
and then I didn't pick it.
And if you want to go one step further, you are also saying, like, oh, I shouldn't be adding more cards. That's one of the biggest problems that I have. And then like, oh yeah, these 15 defect cards look really good.
I really am I am like a child. You dangling like shiny keys in front of me. I'm like, ooh, more of those.
Yeah. So here, like, when we think of the idea of, well, what do we want for our deck? What's the idea here? We're thinking, right, so we've got good star generation, or we've got, something like that. We are mostly fine for defense. We're pretty solid for defense. And we either need some more star generation, like bigger star generating cards, and or something that's going to do a big hit of damage, like a comet, or like like the other zero cost 3/3, or Stardust. Stardust, amazing. That's what we would look for, and we saw it like I think 2 or 3 times. But you're not going to know that if you don't like think about it, if you don't think how you want to tackle this.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. That would be my so when watching through all your gameplay, the biggest thing is trying not to panic. And if you find yourself getting a bit like, okay, yeah, I should do this, and then you make a mistake, it's okay. Like mistakes are going to happen.
Yep.
But then
slow it back down again.
Yeah, try to just say to yourself, think simple. That was one of the things that really helped me. Just, I don't know the enemy pattern super well yet. Okay, so there's no point trying to like predict everything if that's going to be wrong. I don't know what the best thing to do here is. Right, what's the immediate situation?
I'm intrigued because I mean you've got a shit ton of hours in the first game. How did you find like the first handful of runs when you came to Slay the Spire 2?
Very easy.
Yeah.
I
bet you did.
Very easy.
Yeah.
I think I won every run up to Ascension 10 on each character. Well, I think no. Yeah, I had 100% win rate all the way through, I think.
Damn, that's crazy.
With the exception of Necro, I lost 2 runs on Necro because I was just memeing on trying different lines. But
yeah.
You've got to understand, I do this so much, and
of course,
all the A20 challenges, right? Like I lived in like thinking lines. I mean, it was on the second day when I was doing that co-op with Frost and Ots and Jocat.
Yeah.
I just found this line in my head when I was getting that Hellraiser. I was like, wait, what if? And then the hidden gem. Yeah,
I was gonna say, was that the infinite?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I saw the line quite early, and then it broke the game because we couldn't actually exit afterwards. We couldn't because it was perpetually hell raising. And then the CEO came into the chat and he was like, "What's this I hear about British Brad breaking the game?" And it was a good laugh.
That's cool. I like that.
But yeah, your the thing is, right, your line of logic is actually pretty sound. When you sit and think, especially when you're thinking out like future lines, like your royal stamp is a very, very good indicator of this.
It's the hardest thing though, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
getting like really like broad meta macro game,
especially when you're just wanting to vibe and chill, and you're just wanting to like play some cards and
like, I mean, obviously I don't have many people in my chat, but chatting to people at the same time, that's when shit goes wrong for me quite often. When like I look at chat too much, I'm talking to someone and I go, what am I doing? Why am I playing?
Me too. And it will get easier. I loved at the beginning when you were like, oh, Brad's here. I overthink everything now, sort of thing. I know that exact feeling, and I've had that before as well. When it's like there's like a supposed better player kind of like watching, and you're like, is this right? Is this right? And you just don't, you panic. But then you were like, F Brad, I'm just gonna do what I do, and that was correct. Like,
I am never more nervous to pick a card than when Brad's in my stream. Normally I'm like, yeah, whatever, take that. Brad's gonna judge me. I think we take a glow, right? Glowy. I'm not going to let Brad intimidate me anymore. I'm my own man. I'll pick my own cards.
I wanted to check out your path choicing. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So what did you think of here? Where was it
did you do that to punish me, or did you do that to?
I did that to help you. How did that
Okay,
help you?
so this is the thing that I feel very lost with pathing in Slay the Spire 2. I feel like in 1,
Yeah.
I was very...
Oh, you played this fight really well, by the way. This elite fight you did very, very well. You
Yeah, well, I was set up really nicely for that. I think because usually I see these guys and I'm like, oh, I hate this. I saw them and then I remember what was in my deck and I was like, oh, this is fine.
Yeah.
What was I saying? What were we talking about?
So you're talking about pathing, and you were saying about Slay the Spire 1, you don't know what to do, and to one.
I don't feel like elites have as much worth in this game. But look, there's a lot of dud relics. A lot of relics that I just go, I don't know. That was kind of a waste. And I've just taken like 20 damage for that. You know what I mean? Like, so now I'm coming from Slay the Spire 1 where I was like, kill as many elites as possible. Now I'm kind of like, path to as many events and just hope for the best and maybe get some upgrades along the way. I don't know.
The most optimal thought process is you want to find as many elites and rest sites as possible.
Okay.
And in particular, you want to make sure that obviously you need to make sure you can do them. And a good line of thought to that is if you have like rest site, elite, rest site, that is usually the most optimal, the best path. The reason why is because you haven't quite grasped that relics are actually quite strong here yet. Because I also thought the same thing. I was like, well, the relics don't seem all that powerful, but they are.
Sure.
They are very powerful. So this relic right here,
it's good.
Was insane, right? This is a massive pickup, and this is insane because it basically stopped you from taking damage against scrolls in Act 3. It stopped you from taking damage against the cockroaches in Act 2. And that's just the start, right? There's plenty of others that it really helped with.
There's so many multi-enemy fights in this game.
Yeah. We didn't play this fight very optimally. But that's okay. Like we don't need to go through that. But I think you realized as you were playing through it quite a lot as well.
Yeah.
We then also got Red Mask.
Yep.
Fantastic relic.
Yeah.
This is phenomenal for you. Really, really strong.
You are proving me wrong live.
Yeah. I understand what you mean. Like there are some of the relics are like, it's not really that great.
That was true of the first game as well. So it's a moot point, isn't it?
Not only that, but you are getting a higher chance of a rare card.
And rare cards increase. Feel stronger here. They used to.
Yeah. For the most part. And I mean, so elites are good. There are times when you don't want to do them, like especially when it's like path related or health related, and you're just going to learn as you go.
Yeah.
I do think question marks are good.
The events feel a lot stronger than they used to.
If we didn't get merchant here.
Yeah.
If we didn't get merchant here.
Yeah, no,
there is a potential argument to go to the 2 rest sites if you wanted to, if there were specific things you needed to upgrade.
Yeah.
Because you then had an elite here. But you're trading this 1 elite for 2 because this elite into campfire into elites. That being said, if you did this and you didn't have a merchant here, then you're missing out on a merchant in Act 1, and usually you want to kind of do that. So if you didn't have merchant here, there would have been an argument to go this way.
I think one thing that I need to get better at is making my pathing more flexible. Because I tend to go, this is a good path, off we go. Just sort of rigidly stick to it. Unless like I'm dying, I can see there's a bonfire, so I'll take a bonfire. Yeah. I don't. Again, it comes back to like the macro. I need to think. I have these cards that definitely should be upgraded. Let's rethink my pathing.
It's easier said than done because I mean you don't know yet. I too was faced with a lot of this. It sounds good when we say it, but then when we're actually there having to do the thinking.
Yes.
The big thinking of I actually don't. Should I do that? Should I do that? And then you're in this constant paralysis of thoughts of like. So yes, you do want to go to. You do want to be flexible, but you need to let yourself obviously have a chance to make mistakes. You just also want to lock them down when you do make them and you spot them, and you want to try and remember it for next time. So we remember that, signal boost. If we think about signal boost in the future, signal boost is something that is inconsistent because you don't draw it when you want it. Though, like you could make the argument. You could say, well, Brad, signal boost procs whenever we play the next power. And I would say to you, yeah, that's true. So it's better than amplify for sure, and it exhausts away. So great. The problem is, what if what you're wanting to signal boost is a power that you draw before signal boost?
Yeah.
Do you just not play that power? If it's good enough of a power that you want to signal boost it, are you really skipping on it? Can you afford to do that?
And I mean that exact scenario happened multiple times during that run.
Yeah. And exactly that. And it's the same with Alchemize, honestly.
Maybe I overevaluate it, but I mean, if I don't have to worry about spending the energy, it's one less card draw for a potion, which feels good.
Yeah. So the idea is okay. The reason why I would say, like, if it just came up as a card, the pick one of three colorless cards, right? You pay 5 health, colorless card, and it's there early on. Maybe we consider it. It helps us push through elites. That's basically what it does, especially in the early X, because potions are quite powerful against early elites. The issue that we have with Alchemize is, first of all, you have to spend your rest site on upgrading it for the most part.
Yeah.
Secondly,
true. Which I never did because I didn't want to, because I had other stuff to upgrade.
Right. That's a great thing to put a pin in.
Yeah.
The second thing is, it takes a card slot in your hand.
Yes.
Right. So it's anti-win condition. And you got to ask yourself, why are you trading a card space and an upgrade and 1 energy? What are we doing it for? Well, because potions are really cool. And they're fun.
True.
And it's cool to get something cool, right? And that's cool. Yeah, that's good. That's a fun way to play. But if you're asking, is it correct? The answer is, most of the time, no, in my opinion.
It's funny because, like, obviously I'm on the Slay the Spire subreddit and stuff. People think it's incredible. People are wrong.
Well,
it can be, right?
I am not necessarily correct. So I've kind of steered clear of a lot of the tier lists and stuff because I'm forming my own opinions. But my opinion on Alchemize is similar to that of the first time. And that is that it's just not consistent. And what you want in your deck is, you want to build consistency. If you see Alchemize early, there is an argument for it because it helps you get through elites, and therefore it helps you get relics, and that helps. So yes, Alchemize early. Alchemize Act 3, when you're trying to stabilize your deck and you've got the pieces that you want, you're adding a piece to the puzzle that doesn't fit. And that would be.
And you're right about consistency, because potion, if I'd got the explosive ampule, I'd have been fucking useless. 10 damage to the queen and the torches. Like, I'd have been dead.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, that's the way I would think about it, and it's the same way I would think. It's the exact same thing I would think about with the defect card choice. It is just, if you go through and you want to have fun run, then go for it, of course. But if you're asking me, hey, what would you do to improve? I would always favor consistency over anything else. In fact, as well, I would go as far as to say, like, campfires are so important because upgrades are very powerful.
Yep.
That too. And again, just to reiterate, if you're going to remember anything, it would be, whenever you have a card reward, or at the end of your act, beginning of new act, is, what is my win condition? And what do I need to do to this deck to help? And you don't need to know the answer. Just go with your feeling. Like, does it feel like you're lacking damage? Does it feel like you're lacking star generation? Does it feel like you need some defense? You don't need to know the answer. Just go with your gut feeling and then make decisions off of that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the...
You're most welcome.
That's very, very useful. And you'll be sure that next time you watch me stream, I will have forgotten all of it.
Of course. 100%.
So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something. And another massive thank you to you, Brad, for coming and joining my stream.
Well, and a thank you for having me on, my friend. If something I said was helpful, then I'm very glad to hear it. just remember to, as always, stay hydrated.